Hello, welcome. This is a video on how to factor difference of squares at the highly proficient level. I want you to notice that it says factor completely. And whenever you see that, especially when it says factor completely, with that completely, it means that you might have to factor with more than one strategy. And so I like to say basically there's three basic factoring strategies. One is the greatest common factor, to factor out a greatest common factor between the terms. Two, and even though this is not the order that we did them in, I like to say that two is dos, Spanish for two, dos, which is difference of squares. If you have like a squared minus b squared squares, and then remember that difference means subtract. So if you're subtracting two squared terms, that would be something you'd want to check for. And then three, your that prefix tri, as in trinomial, it has three terms. Check to see if you can factor with that trinomial. And so just because you've done one does not mean you can't do another. So check, go through, do one. If that applies, fantastic. Check to see if any of the others still apply. So here, I've got 18m squared minus 50, and I notice that they're both 18 and 50 are even. So I'm going to start with taking 18 and 50 and saying I can divide both of those by 2. 2 goes into 18 9 times, and 2 goes into 50 25 times. Now, 9 has 3 as a factor, 25 has 5, but those are prime numbers. There's no more prime factors that will go into either or into both 9 and 25, since the only prime factor you can divide into 9 is 3, and the only prime factor you can divide into 25 is 5. So we can take out that 2 and rewrite this as 2 times 9m squared minus 25. Yeah, we put a negative on that 50. That helps to keep the sign straight. And so again, just to check along the way, if I multiply here, 2 times 9m squared is 18m squared, and 2 times negative 25 is negative 50. So we're good with that. And now I look at this and I say, well, I've got two terms, dos. And so that's, it is a difference. There's the difference. So maybe this is a difference of squares. If I can write it as a difference of squares, if I can write it as, let's see, a squared minus b squared, then I can write that either forward or backwards from a and b plus and minus, or minus and plus, doesn't matter. And so I think I can take this 2 times and write 3m squared minus 5 squared. And now I know what my a is. If my a is there and my this is my a, then I'm going to be able to write that a here and here. And if my b goes in both of those factors, then I can think of my b here and put that here and there. And so that's going to be here 3m and 3m, 5 and 5, plus and minus. This equals this. But I still need this 2 here. So that 2 is still a factor. And if you want to just check, you can kind of go backwards. I know that 3m plus 5 and 3m minus 5. 3m times 3m is 9m squared. 3m times 5 is plus 15m. 3m times negative 5 is negative 15m. And then negative 5 times a positive 5 is negative 25. But these two are opposite, so they cancel, and I would be left with 9m squared minus 25. And so I said that that was the same as this here. And it is, it's the same as this here, 9m squared minus 25. And so, and then, if we multiply by 2, we would get the original 18m squared minus 50. So these factors here 2 times 3m plus 5 times 3m minus 5 are what we got.